Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
Exclusive black equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes. Best audio setting is the one you're comfortable with, so you can act and react anytime. Intuitive touch panel for treble and bass adjustment. With driverless design, you just plug and play. Personalize the way you see everything. And then conquer. Exclusive Black Equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes. Adjust the angle effortlessly for maximum comfort. Everyone grips the mouse differently, so how can one mouse work for all? Different sizes and shapes for your options. pick the one that fits your grip for long-lasting comfort and gameplay. With driverless design, you just plug and play.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
Good evening everybody and welcome to the day 9 of the ESL India Premiership live stream of 2017. So now ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you, this is the day 9.
In the hollow ground, nothing can stop me wanting you somehow. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold.
Well, no mega event would be a mega event without their own technical glitches, right? Welcome back to the ESL India Premiership 2017, brought to you by Omen, by HP, HyperX, Zawi by BenQ, and organized by Nordwind Gaming. I am Vagish Gotslebhan, and welcome to the day 9 of the ESL India Premiership 2017 summer season, people. But before we progress on, let me remind you that you can register for the phase 2. The registration link for the ESL India Premiership 2017 should be on the screen. All you gotta do is follow the link and register for the games you want to participate in. Also, for those who don't understand how the India Premiership, the ESL India Premiership works, well, we have 3 seasons, summer, fall and winter. Currently, we are in the summer season, and each season has 3 main games: Clash Royale, Dota 2 and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Now, all these 3 games are played concurrently in 3 simultaneous leagues. We have a Starter League, we have a Challenger League, and the Masters League. What we showcase to you here are the best of the teams and the best of the games from the Masters League. Now, there are 2 games happening for all of them. So right now, moving on to the Masters games, considering these are some of the best players and have been called on invite or have participated previously in our Masters 2016, we have 2 amazing players coming up for the game 1 of the day, people. We have Clash Royale happening between Tahir Shariff, Devil's twin, and Rishik, who goes by the name Risk. Now, Rishik hails from Kolkata. He's in the 3rd year BTech, the only engineering student so far I have seen in this tournament, considering everybody else, just like Tahir also, is from BBA. So moving on, Risk is from Kolkata. He's pursuing his BTech. He's in 3rd year and has been playing the game consistently from the word go. Ever since the game release, he's been at it. Whereas Tahir Sharif considers himself to be one of the best PvP players of Clash Royale in the country, and he did participate in the Challenger 2 last year in Bengaluru, although he couldn't make it for the Masters. But they are here. Both of them are here. Rishik Risk and Tahir Sharif, Devil's twin, eager to face off against each other in this best of 5 called Clash Royale, which is going to be casted by my awesome casters, Manoj Supergola and Anirudh. So guys, gear up. This is day 9 of the ESL India Premiership 2017, brought to you by Omen, by HP, Zowie, by BenQ, HyperX, and organized by Norton Gaming. Stick around, because this is going to be lots of fun.
I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, we won't be alone.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL India Premiership's daily stream. This is the summer series of our 3-season tournament, and as usual, we start this day off with some Clash Royale. This is Manoj Supergola, and with me is Anirudh Chess.
Hey guys, how you doing?
So I hope you guys enjoyed our cast yesterday. We're going to be doing a lot more of it since we have shifted to the best of 5 format starting yesterday. So today we're going to see Tahir Devil's Twin versus Rishik, also known as Risk with an exclamation mark, if you can notice it.
So going straight into this, we see Rishik is playing a Mortar deck versus a Giant Beatdown Battleground deck. Very interesting deck coming up from both players. A lot of different, not very meta decks.
Oh, the Bandit. That's one of the rarest cards we've seen in tournaments actually.
That's a very underrated card actually. I feel it's got potential.
Like it's going to guarantee at least 1 hit onto the tower. Or at least 1 hit onto anything. That's what it is. Like once it starts charging, right?
But Mortar has a lot of distraction.
True.
If you can see his deck, Rishik's deck, he has a lot of small troops he can put there to distract the Bandit. But the Bandit's just a part of his overall strat. It's not the win condition by any means. He does have a giant battleground.
So the Mortar will do damage to the tower, and as you slow to catch anything else in action other than like a slow P.E.K.K.A or a giant or a golem.
Yeah, but if you look at Devil's his deck, he has quite a bunch of distractions as well. But he doesn't have too many strong ground troops to distract the mortar.
Oh, look at that
Big
big
push coming
yeah.
in. Yeah, the bandit is destroying that mortar. Oh, and it's on the tower. It's
The bandit just dashed across the river. Like, water, I am Jesus.
Yeah, it's a very good start for Devil. Also, a big thing about mortar decks is they're not very good comeback decks. So if you lose control early on,
That's it. End of
it's very
story.
hard. Yeah,
It's a
come
very
back from
slippery
crown.
slope.
You can usually maybe rocket down the enemy, but
Not gonna happen.
it's a tall task.
Well, neither player has revealed their final card, so I guess we're gonna see some.
I believe Rishik could have rocket his last card. I'm pretty sure.
I think
Poison.
yeah, Risk has lost his first star. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Do you think Risk can come back from this?
I mean, like I said, it's
very hard,
Yeah,
right?
for a mortar deck, it's very hard to come back. And he has battle ram, giant, so much stuff back in mortar. It's quite hard to come back.
Yeah, I think you come back.
EWS has
as
helped, but yeah, EWS just stops everything.
There's no way he's coming back from this.
No, he doesn't have the time to come back. I mean, mortar is not a deck that just instantly punishes you with drops 5 2 takes the power. Right?
Yeah, it's like cancer. It
Build up
kills
a
you
push.
slowly.
You gotta cycle it.
So looks like the first match is going to our guy who came to IGS a couple months ago.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's game number 1. Looks like Devil's Twin has brought himself on board with a score of 1-0. And while the players are waiting for the next match to start, let's just say thank you to our big sponsors. Our title sponsor, Omen by HP, Zoe by BenQ, as well as HyperX. And this is all produced and brought to you by Nodwin Gaming. Now that I've said that, now I can talk about whatever I want. What do you want to talk about? Tell
No,
me.
I just wanted to mention Devil's Twins deck. It was a very interesting deck. If you bring it up, we can see he had Giant, he had a Electro Wiz, Bandit, Log. Is it not a very meta deck, I would say. It's nice, it worked well.
So which card did Risk reveal in the end?
Rocket.
Rocket.
Rocket is the last card, yeah. Standard for mortar. So usually you just get a few hits off with the mortar and then you just rocket cycle your opponent down. The problem was that
Okay, so if it was a rocket, right? I thought there were a couple of moments in the game where the rocket could have been useful. Why do you think he hasn't used
I
it?
mean, if he was using it early on when there's a giant down and his mortar's locked on the giant, he'd just be in big trouble because he'd have no legs to defend the push. Mortar decks also, a lot of mortar decks usually have buildings, but as you see, the mortar deck he was using had no building. It was all just troops with the princess, goblin gang. So you usually have like an inferno tower, something to defend against these large beatdown decks. So his matchup wasn't great over there.
Oh, yeah, and then Inferno Tower brings down big units quickly.
Yeah.
So looks like Risk is ready for his game. We're just waiting on Devil's Twin, and they've started. Let's go into the in-game mode. And the production crew will really appreciate it if they close the door.
Alright, Mega Minion, Ice Spirit, Proc.
No change.
Looks like Risk is in the same deck.
Looks like Devil's Twin is too.
Devil's Twin, yeah. This is very familiar. Battle Ram already on the tower, that's not good at all.
1300 HP left.
Princess will get some value, no.
That miner coming from the underground, backing away. It slapped that princess right over the game.
So yeah, Devil's Twin's already pretty ahead in this matchup. He does get a mortar down with a bunch of troops to defend.
The evils.
Let's see how Devil's Twin does defend this.
So wait, does the evils, when the evils hits the mortar, right, does he like constantly block it so that it doesn't attack? Or
So it used to, but they have changed that now, so it does get some attacks off, but it does keep retargeting according to closest troop. It also misses the E-Ways, as you can see,
yeah,
he's too
because
quick.
most of the cards are too quick, right?
Yeah, a lot of the cards are very quick. But Mortar still does very well. It's a very successful deck. So
I mean, he's using it at this level, so.
yeah.
Oh, come on, don't even try to hide whatever cards you have left. We know you didn't change your deck at all.
He doesn't have a good chance to rocket in this deck, if you see. I don't know if it's Devil's not getting a good opportunity to rocket. He just hasn't got a chance to rocket anything.
See, this is what I don't get, right? Why hasn't Risk changed? he does understand that his tactic is not so useful right now. There's the units that Devilstone is using are just too fast.
So why is he not changed decks, you think?
Yeah.
So maybe he just believes that it's more skill, like it's his skill that let him down the last game, not actually the deck. Oh, nice log coming down, there's the princess. The thing is, Risk has no way to insta-punish, like even if he drops all these troops. We did get a lot of damage off
Yeah,
that.
there is no way for Risk to like capitalize on.
But he's already doing much better than last game. I mean, those were some great minor poison, preemptive poison coming out.
I don't know. So looking at the decks, right? I think Devilstone has this one. I just don't find. I can't find a way for Risk to come back from this. He really has to.
He
change
just
what
has to
he-
cycle rockets. Oh, misses the knight. He didn't see the knight, but to be fair.
The rocket was already in.
Yeah, rocket was already. So he will get this. Oh,
No,
poison
the
should
cards
take
down.
it down.
10 seconds left. I don't think Risk is will be able to.
No, rocket does not do enough
Oh look!
damage.
Finally, there's one.
That was an Inferno Tower. Very interesting because you wouldn't bring that against the Mortar. You wouldn't change your deck to expect Risk to not change the deck, right?
I don't know. I have no idea what goes on to these player sets. Like they wait for a couple of minutes between each game. They don't change deck. They start the next game immediately, and I see a completely new.
Maybe they just contemplate it, but they never go through. That was well
Should
played
I
by
change?
Devilstone.
If I change, will he change?
I think we will see a switch now. If yesterday
At
taught
least-
us anything,
At least
for
from
the
Risk,
third
right?
game,
Yeah.
there will be a change.
At least from Risk, we should see some sort of deck change. Or is he just trying to experiment as much as he can in a tournament format? See what his player is up against him. Like this is a league format, and we have a scoreboard and everything. It's point system, so he can sacrifice some games.
That's true, but if you want to experiment, wouldn't you like to try out new decks? Wouldn't you want to like explore the field, see what decks work for you?
That I think I would do on the ladder.
Yeah. See, the thing is, ladder gameplay is very different. The way troops interact in a tournament, tournament standards, like level 9, is very different from ladder.
Okay.
Where ladder, you have all these over-level cards, and you just have these strange interactions. Cards such as Royal Giant and Elite Barbarians are not as strong on
Oh yeah.
tournament level.
Like Elite
Which is why you don't see
Barbarians
them
when they
as
came
much.
out, right? The number of people that just put them in their deck and use
Yeah.
them, just randomly. I no synergy, nothing. Ooh, Elite Barbarians, they're faster.
You say that, but it hasn't changed. A lot of people still just throw it on there.
Somewhere in the 2K trend sites, it does.
So there's a Barbarian Hut, so there's a big different deck from this coming out. Usually when I see Barbarian Hut, it's paired with Graveyard. But I don't see these other cards paired with Graveyards, so I don't think it's Graveyard.
Unfortunately for him, that land actually failed spectacularly.
He got a lot of damage off there. Just with that. That Battle Ram needs to be stopped much earlier. He's not respecting the Battle Ram.
So let's cheer for him. Let's hope for a game 3.
Yeah, we all want to see more games.
Yes. This is a best of 5, and if Devils is gonna win the series 3-0. It's in the interest of sportsmanship. I would like to see Risk win this one.
Devilstone hasn't also changed his deck, so in overtime I think Risk's deck will perform better. Not actually, it won't perform better compared to Giant Beatdown, but compared to Mortar at least it will do better in his last matchup. But we have to see what his win condition is here. Risk. He still hasn't revealed any. He still hasn't revealed the cards. He still could be a potential graveyard. But it's a lack of ground troops. So
And I don't
it.
see any spells either.
Yeah, there are no spells, there's no ground troops. I mean, if you notice, there's only a Spear Goblin. I mean, not Spear Goblin,
And
Dart Goblin.
And a Barbarian.
Yeah, and a
Oh, a
Barbarian.
crossbow. Okay, so this is.
Crossbow, okay. That's a very heavy deck.
Oh no, the crossbow is going down.
Oh, that bandage just made short work of it.
60 seconds left. 404 tower not found HP on this.
I'm not sure how he pushes. I mean, he has a Barbarian Hut with 7 elixir and then a 6 elixir crossbow. Then he has to also defend the crossbow.
I think he wants to like put down the Barbarian Hut and put down the Princess as
He's
well.
just
as
gonna
the
get
Dark
rushed. Like the second you put on such a big elixir, you spend so much elixir, you're just gonna get rushed. And as you see, this Battle Ram Giant, boom, that was one.
Under half a minute left. Do you think it is bad?
I mean, as I said, like, as same with Mortar, coming back to the crossbow after crown down is equally hard. So both decks that require a lot of setup.
That gen just denied the crossbow targeting rights to the
1000 HP. You still get a few hits off, yeah. But it's too late.
The minions are going to
the
get
E-way
it.
is unfortunate.
Very unfortunate for Devil's Twin, but I mean, very unfortunate for Risk, but Devil's Twin has proved himself to be the better player today.
So well played to both players.
Okay, and congratulations to Devil's Twin. Risk, better luck next time, but 3-0, Devil's Twin wins.
I was hoping to see a game 4 this time, but
Me too, man. Me too. I guess you just have to let a few things go.
yeah.
So today has been fun. I hope we're gonna get to do this every day.
Yeah, this is great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. So thank you guys for watching. Please stay tuned for some more CS:GO and Dota 2 action coming up right after the break. And I'm gonna hand this over to our host Vagish Godslayer Bhan. Take it away, Vagish.
Just a little time. Know your addiction's not a crime. It's just a smaller part of who you want to become in the end.
Alright, people, we just saw Tahir Sharif dent a victory against Risk. Congratulations, Tahir. Well played. 3-0. The final score is what it reads as of now. And let me tell you guys, whoever has joined us right now on the ESL India Premiership 2017's Day 9 live stream on the Facebook page of ESL India and the YouTube gaming channel of ESL India, let me give you a quick lowdown about how the standings stand. Hasib, Raza and Mrin are right now currently topping the charts in terms of standings for Clash Royale. So, moving on as we go on forth towards other games, that is Dota 2 and Counter-Strike, I will also be disseminating this information to you as to who is leading the leaderboards as of now. Now, moving on, people, once again, welcome to everybody who's joined us on various media, watching the live stream of the Day 9 of the ESL India Premiership 2017, brought to you by Omen by HP, Zowie by BenQ, HyperX, and organized by Nordwind Gaming. For those who don't know me, I am Vagish Godslayer Bhan, and I'll be taking you through the games as and when they happen one by one. Now, moving on to the very famous 5v5 MOBA, people, Dota 2 is in the offing right now between two teams which have ensured that today is the Brothers' Day. No, I'm not talking about the very sad movie which came out. No, it's a very bad joke. I'm literally talking about a face-off between brothers, because today's match is between Standin 5 and XRG. Now, for those who don't know, some very prominent names, namely, let's take Jeet Swifty Kundra, who now plays for Entity Esports, started his career with XRG, and XRG is a team known to pick out some prominent players of today. Now, it's a very old team based out of Mumbai, and they're going to be facing off against Standin 5, which is also fielding one of the brothers. Yes, Arshad Khan from Standin 5 is going to be pitted against his brother from XRG, and they both are going to literally have a showdown. Now, I'm not sure how these brothers are going to perform, but I'm very sure the fact that everybody who's watching this live stream is gonna be with like knuckles clenched, because this is going to be some intense match, because Standin 5 is known to literally play out some textbook Dota. And talking about the leaderboards in Dota 2, we have right now 3C4DA and Entity Esports leading the pack, with A5 and Standin 5, Aggressive 5 and Standin 5 following shortly behind. XRG is yet to make a mark, but hopefully this match can turn the tides in their favor. And for all those who are hoping for a Nepal match, sadly we have come to know that there's some massive blackout in Nepal, so we will not be able to stream that match for you. So instead we have Standin 5 versus XRG coming for you right now. We have casters, we have our amazing casters also joining in for this game. So hold on to your seats. It's going to be one intense night here at the ESL India Premiership 2017 Day 9 live stream, people.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
Exclusive black equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes.
Oh no! Punch! Oh, crap!
The best audio setting is the one you're comfortable with, so you can act and react anytime. Intuitive touch panel for treble and bass adjustment. With driverless design, you just plug and play. Personalize the way you see everything. And then conquer. Exclusive Black Equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the
You paint a picture in my mind. You wanna leave it all behind. In a world that's turning all the time, nothing could stop me longing for your eyes. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't be
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're here for another matchup for the ESL India Premiership. It is the Masters League and it's summer phase 1. Looks like both teams have been slapped with reserve time penalties, by the way. I'm not sure if this was intentional or if just one team was meant to be hit with a reserve time penalty. But it's XRG versus Standin 5. We've seen a lot of Standin 5 in the past.
Too much.
I'm looking forward to... Never mind, guys. Looks like the match has not...
This lake of fire burns my skin.
Well, we have a disconnection from the lobby. I think Dota decided to pull a number on us. But Standin 5, we've seen so much of them. I really feel like they are the next big thing in the Indian esports circuit. They've been playing a lot of matches across multiple tournaments. They have been knocked out of other major tournaments happening simultaneously. But at the ESL India Premiership, they've been performing quite well. In fact, just yesterday, they took a convincing victory off of the Council. A 20-minute finish versus the team that placed third at the Masters LAN last year.
Yeah, they are players of reasonably good individual skill, but what's more exciting about them is that their decision making is solid, and this is one of the key things if you need to go to the next level. 5k individual MMR is a good start, but to take things forward from there, it all boils down to decision making, and Standin 5 are excellent at that, as they showed earlier on yesterday versus the Council. XRG Gaming, though, I mean, some familiar faces. I do not know too much about this team, however.
So XRG is actually where Swifty had his roots, right?
Ah, okay, it's that team.
I believe Swifty played alongside Gondi in XRG, then Swifty moved to Shariff Gaming, then to Illunes, then to Beyond Infinity, and now he resides in Entity Esports, where he's playing alongside people from outside of India. So Puppy. that'll be the day. But yeah, so XRG, they've been around for a long time. I think one of the first few tournaments that I saw them participating in was the Taiwan Excellence Gaming Cup. That is the first ever edition of the TE Gaming Cup in India.
And how did they finish?
Well, now my memory isn't that good, man. I don't remember
Who won
what
it?
place
Was it Invisible Wings?
No, it was actually Oblique Gaming on Neckbreak that won it. This was back in the extremely old school era of Dota 2. But yeah, this is when XRG was around as well. They've been around for a long time. Gandhi's been here for donkey's years, but unfortunately, he hasn't been able to break through to the top rungs of the ladder just yet. However, this is his chance. He is among the top 8 Indian Dota teams in the ESL India Premiership, and they're fighting to stay alive in the Masters League.
Yeah, not for the Omni Knight getting banned out in the first phase by XRG. Maybe they know something that we don't. I mean, we have casted quite a few games of Standin. I haven't seen them show any preference towards the Omni Knight, but they let Abaddon slip through the pool and Standin pick it up without any hesitation. Now the pressure's on XRG to draft a good trial lane to deal with the Abaddon. So they're going to start out with the roaming support. Good pick here.
At the moment, XRG are at the extreme bottom of the table, right? They haven't won a single game. They've gone 0-3 so far. Their losses have come at the hands of Aggressive 5, For Miracle, and who was the third team that they've lost to? 3 Cheers for Divine Ascension. So they have essentially lost to every single team that they've played so far. Honestly, they're not against a bunch of pushovers either. They're against Standin 5, a team that has beaten some of these teams as well.
How did Entity do in yesterday's game?
Oh, I think it was a pretty straightforward victory for them coming out. Entity played versus 3C4DA, if I'm not mistaken. And they did come out on top. The scoreline for that particular matchup was...
It's about...
Yeah, it was actually 19-13. So, wow, it looks like 3C4DA actually didn't do too badly. But, I mean, the score is not always an accurate indicator, right, of how the match went.
Yeah, I think it's worth buying a ticket for the ESL India Premiership just to get out of that game. New entity, new lineup. They are winning in this particular league, but it remains to be seen whether they can replicate their success internationally. Picks coming out from XRG, they've got a good roaming support in the form of the Earth Spirit. Silencer could be pretty decent at zoning out the Abaddon. And yeah, Standin 5 respond with a strong roamer of their own in the form of the Ogre.
Yeah, so I feel like now, again, I'm going to sound very biased here, but Standin 5, because we've watched so many of their games, we have some insight to share upon them. This is a team that is making the fullest possible use of the ESL India Premiership. They're a team that's learning from their mistakes. They're looking for external feedback. They pinged me on multiple occasions as a caster to provide some inputs from a bird's eye view as well. And honestly, their drafts have been changing from game to game. When they started off, they were picking these 2 roaming supports, or they were picking 2 defensive supports. They were opening with picks like the Magnus, which pretty much gave away their hand early on. Now they're doing the smarter thing. They're opening with an Abaddon pickup. They're banning out heroes that fall outside of their comfort zone. They're picking heroes without revealing too much of what they're going to be running as their entire lineup. With an Abaddon and an Ogre as your opening picks, your lineup could go in many different directions. You could pick up the Phantom Assassin, boost her up with the Bloodlust. You could always do a full-fledged Aura strat by picking up a Drow Ranger. Ogre Magi, even without an agenda, is really a strong pickup. It's one of the best rotators towards the middle lane in the game altogether. But I would like to see them picking up heroes like the Earth Spirit as well and the Monkey King going forward. Monkey King hasn't been banned out here, but he wasn't picked either. That's a little surprising for me.
Yeah, not sure if I see the room for it in this game on either side, but I like what Standin 5 have done. They did recognize that XRG has next pick, and they banned out 2 solid cores here in the form of the Slark and the Juggernaut, who can deal rather well versus the Abaddon. So they're trying their best to enable the Abaddon from the draft itself. XRG here. Could pick up an offlaner. I think Centaur is the safest bet. Or else...
Centaur, Magnus, viable options here. They could even go for, well, a Timbersaw perhaps if they want something to deal with the 2 tanky heroes coming out from Standin 5. But they'll go with the Magnus for now. Not a bad choice at all. Their draft is looking good too. They've got that roaming support in the Earth Spirit. They've got the Defender or the Babysitter in the form of the Silencer.
I think if Standin 5 pick up something solid in the mid lane, all Ogre has to do is contest Magnus in the jungle. And then if XRG don't have that RP initiation that they're hoping for, Standin 5 should be able to take team fights early on. and rather successfully. I mean, if the mid lane is a one matchup, I mean, easily one matchup for Standin 5, I'd rather have the Ogre contest the jungle. And they pick up the Warlock.
Yeah, so both sides with a babysitter and a roaming hero of their own. I think the mid matchup is going to be really crucial now because so XRG is going to need something that synergizes with the Earth Spirit. This is assuming that it is an offlane Magnus. If it's a mid Magnus, yeah, I don't see too much synergy with the Magnus and the Earth Spirit there, but it could work. I mean, they are two melee heroes. Maybe with the double empower, they have enough damage to beat through whoever gets hit with the rolling boulder. But at the same time, Standin 5 have the Ogre Magi, who's really good at zoning out heroes. If it is the Magnus that's mid, Ogre Magi with an Orb of Venom creeping in from behind could cause all sorts of problems.
I really hope XRG Gaming do not pick up something like the Tinker.
Ah, nice pick.
Okay, Puck is fine.
Look at the amount of silence that they have on their squad, though. Silencer, the Earth Spirit with the Geomagnetic Grip, and Puck with the Waning Rift. So many ways to control heroes, so many ways to delay that chaotic offering from being dropped down even. And a lot of ways to actually stop the Abaddon from keeping allies alive in the team fight. So it's a good lineup coming out from XRG, a very mobile and slippery lineup as well. This is also one of the better ways to punish a support like the Warlock, who doesn't really have any sort of disables except for the Rock.
So they need a core who can provide the lockdown necessary to bring down the Puck. Because, I mean, you can always phase shift dodge. The Fire Blast coming out from the Ogre drop is available, but only every 140 seconds in the game. And this is a matchup you spoke about earlier. TA versus Puck. You did say that the Templar Assassin should pull ahead rather easily. But we have seen in an earlier edition of the ESL, what was it? Challenger Cup?
I'm not too sure what you're referring to.
Pune with Swifty versus Crowley.
Oh, yeah,
versus
I
Puck.
think that was a Challenger Pune.
Challenger Pune.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we saw the same matchup and Puck did somehow managed to hold his own there. I mean,
holding your own as a Puck versus the TA essentially means not dying, and it also essentially means getting some CS. Because TA, I mean, the matchup is pretty straightforward. Puck has no real damage over time. Templar has a refraction, which is going to be a real nuisance for Puck to deal with. Over and above that, Templar also has the higher damage once the refraction is online, and she's got a fair bit of range to work with the Psy Blades. Puck really can't do anything to stop the TA from farming. Puck really can't do anything to try and score a kill on the TA. And if Puck is not careful about the way he positions in lane, he's going to take a few stray hits from the Psy Blades and end up burning through his consumables. One thing that they have going for them, though, is that the Ogre Magi is not too much of a threat in the face of the Puck. There's almost always an opportunity to phase shift and dodge that ignite. And if there is a Fire Blast coming in, you can always use the Jaunt to get closer to your tower before he drops it. Given that the Ogre does have a fairly large cast point on the Fire Blast.
Absolutely. So Puck shouldn't be falling early on to the Harris coming out from the Ogre. I like the Last Man Lifestealer. I hope Standin 5 round up their draft with something like the Spectre here. Jump on the Magnus early on, disable his initiation. Maybe force a global out of position.
Spectre isn't bad. What is an alternative though to this?
I mean, you got Swen, Morphling, a lot of cores being banned out here. A lot of safe laners being banned out.
Morphling hasn't been banned. But do you want to go Morphling versus such a silence heavy lineup?
No, I mean,
think so.
Swen and Morphling are in the pool is what I meant. But yeah, I'd really like a Spectre pick. It's what comes to mind for me.
Yeah, I do agree. Spectre does have a fair bit of value. I'm just trying to think of what alternatives they have here. Maybe a core venture. Does that make actually, yeah, it could make sense, right? Because Abaddon does sort of transition into this physical DPS hero, or at least this DPS hero with the Radiance build. Templar is always a walking source of physical DPS, and then you boost that up with a core venge. Once you get level 6, you play it like Burning, just run around the map looking to score kills, looking to use your damage advantage. But at the same time, another straight stun or a projectile stun in the face of something like the Puck is not exactly what you want to go for. Spectre, Sven, Venge. I think these would be my top 3 picks here for Standin 5.
Oh, how do you think XRG close that draft? It's obviously going to be in response to what Standin 5 pick up, and they are running low on time on the clock. 8 seconds to go.
XRG. Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't see that coming.
XRG doesn't have a way to deal with the Terrorblade right now.
But they could just as easily get one.
Burst them down?
I mean, they've got enough magic damage at the moment. They want to go for a core that can deal with illusions. Medusa is in the pool and is a viable option. They could also go for an OD and run him in the safe lane. A mid OD wouldn't be terrible versus the TA either.
Safe lane Puck?
I mean, TA does. I would say TA has the matchup advantage in the mid one-on-one, but it's still something that would. It's not as bad as a TA versus Puck matchup.
I think you need to draft a safe laner that can deal with the Abaddon in lane. Somewhat.
I mean, not necessarily, right? I think Silencer and Earth Spirit are really good at dealing with the Abaddon in themselves.
Okay.
Phantom Assassin.
Phantom Assassin it is. They'll go with raw physical damage over and above picking magic damage cores like the Mirana perhaps. But it's going to be a Phantom Assassin that's augmented with the Magnus and Power. This could also be an off-lane Puck and then a mid-Magnus, but I still don't see how that's really going to help deal with that mid-TA. It's going to boil down to how Earth Spirit rotates towards the middle lane and harasses the Templar Assassin.
Both teams are both teams have good security in the late game. If anything, Standin 5 scale better. A lot of pressure on XRG to make the early to mid game work, shut down the Abaddon, make sure his Radiance, if it is coming, is only going to end up coming at a really later phase in the game where it's not going to add much value. So yeah, I think the pressure is on XRG to have a good early and mid game.
Yeah, definitely is. I think early game is extremely crucial here for XRG. They don't want to go too late versus this Terrorblade. Eventually, he's going to build that MKB, which will just put a dent into the Phantom Assassin's plans. And I mean, they are playing with the physical DPS from the PA and the Magnus, which is not the best way to deal with the Terrorblade, who's got pretty much the highest base armor in the game. And he's got an Abaddon to back him up, so this is a tough nut to crack. Of course, we have the Great Indian Pause, and for some reason, we've been thrown off the Dota map. Before I move my mouse, I'm actually trying to figure out what part of the minimap we're on. We moved. Okay,
We were somewhere there.
All right. Also, it seems like we've got our console commands messed up again. Alright, here we go. Right, so let's start off with the introductions on both sides. Starting off with Standin 5. Vivek, take it away.
Sure, we got Mama Sita playing the Templar Assassin, Disruption playing the Warlock, Pashu on the Yoga Magi, and RC on the Abaddon, and that leaves us with Iced on the Terrorblade.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the pause is about here, but it is the Great Indian Dota pause. There should be a rule about this, right? Stop doing this, guys. It's extremely unprofessional. You've got to make your plans about who's buying what and who's going where before the game actually begins. I mean, you never see a pause at the majors, right? After a game begins.
We've got to disconnect as well. Yeah, no pauses in the majors, and
no international lands have this. Even international online tournaments haven't had like these ridiculous pauses coming out for God knows how long now.
So I was casting with a pro/semi-pro player, and I asked him, why do we do these pauses? Yeah, so I asked him, why is it that we do these pauses? I mean, why do Indian teams always pause as soon as the game loads? And they told me that it's basically because most players go AFK during the draft, and they all just need to regroup and adjust their settings. And
really? They actually leave the draft and say, "Tu pick kar le," and I'll go back and
then they come back and, "Arey yaar, why you picked Ogre for me? I don't want to play Ogre, I want to play something else."
Typical cafe Dota. Anyway, you've got Standin High playing the Phantom Assassin. Puck is going to be handled by Gondi, who, by the way, is self-sponsored, but I think he should look for a dictionary sponsor here. You've got Magnus going to be handled by Meat Hook. Silencer is going to be played by POC Fangaze Uni. And Earth Spirit in the hands of Blue Frog. How do you goof up the spelling of sponsored, man? This is beautiful. Oh man, he's gonna be punching himself in the face after he sees this cast. Anyway, looks like it's gonna be a peaceful start coming out from both sides. They're gonna get 2 bounty runes each. Mamacita should get 1 on the TA, Gandhi will get 1 on the Park, and then 1 should go towards each core, that is the Phantom Assassin and the Terrorblade. TB's gonna start off with the Poor Man Shield here in the lane. He's going to be up against a Magnus in the off lane. Magnus has to be careful here because this is a lineup that could kill him. He's going to have to use this skewer very carefully and very sparingly.
Yeah, he hasn't got any vision on his off lane, so he cannot spot rotations coming in. This mid matchup, TA versus Puck once more, it looks like Puck might have had the slightly better block. The range creep is falling, and yeah, that's some easy XP for Mamacita. Even gets the deny. So he couldn't have asked for a better start there.
Mamacita choosing to go for the first point in the Side Blades instead of the Refraction. Going Refraction usually guarantees you the entire first creep wave, or at least most of the first creep wave. But with the Refraction not available, he's going to have to rely on his last setting abilities to outdo Gandhi in the lane. He has done a fair bit of damage as well with the Side Blade, so it's a good start for him. Meanwhile, at bottom, this is what we talked about. They've already begun. There's no skewer, and they know this. Another hit ought to do it. 1 more is what they needed. They wouldn't get it. The PMS helping the Magnus to stay alive through that.
Yeah, good stuff coming out from the Terrorblade. Pops his meta early on and uses it to force Magnus to go to his own shrine. And what's the wave looking like?
How is Mamacita not winning this lane hands down? I mean, he's 5-5 versus Puck, who's 3-3. And I believe they both use their salves, but... Okay, there it is.
I think he needs to be a little bit more careful. I guess he used Refraction after the orb was thrown out by the Puck, and that explains why Puck could dish out some damage. But Mamacita's adapted quickly. I mean, this time his Refraction usage was spot on. Magnus, what's the plan? Go to the jungle with Empower?
Yeah, I think that's what he do right now. Yeah, and that's exactly what he's done. He's just moved into the jungle right away. Baron, meanwhile, is he picking up the Quelling Blade yet? Or is he going for Iron Talon? No, he's just gone for the Magic Stick, which is a good choice versus the Phantom Assassin. Not to mention the Silencer as well. Pashu's actually hanging around on this top lane itself, so he's choosing to help out his Baron as opposed to going and getting work done at the middle lane. Look at the damage he's done on Blue Frog already. He's got no more consumables available, but Pashu's in trouble himself. That is still a level 1 Phantom Assassin. They've got the Rolling Boulder coming in. RC, I'm not sure what he put the Aphotic Shield upon there. He did pop it, but I'm not too sure on who. And with that, it is first blood in favor of XRG. It does go towards the Earth Spirit there. But I think one more devastating thing is that BOC gets the extra 2 intelligence from that fight.
Yeah, I mean, Pashu had done his work. He didn't need to linger around and push the limits of his hero. Should have just backed out with the Abaddon, used the shrine, and then gone to work again. Because as a safe laner, I mean, whether you're on the Dire or the Radiant, you do not have easy access to the shrine. And Ogre should have noticed that, taken advantage of the nearby shrine and apply pressure once more. It looks like they're going to do that again.
I mean, they're attempting to play here on BOC Fangaze Unite again, but this is a tough kill for them to score. And with that Curse of the Silent being thrown out again and again, it's really irritating for RC and Pashu to actually throw out their spells. More than anything, it is the movement speed reduction that affects them and annoys them the most. Meanwhile, back at bottom lane, Magnus has abandoned the lane altogether. He did go into the jungle, but he's now got himself boots that should allow him to play around in the lane without fear of actually being brought down too easily. The good thing for him though is that since the Ogre is hanging around top, there's essentially no disables in this lane and no real slows either, so he can play aggressively like this and trade hits with the Warlock. Meanwhile, missed another kill, guys. Apologies for that. Is Blue Frog who gets another kill on Pashu, and RC's in trouble as well this time. The Orb of Venom slow does connect from Blue Frog, and then high He'll throw out the Stifling Dagger to trigger the Aquatic Shield. Meanwhile, Me Too, he's really overstayed his welcome now, and one more hit will do it. They will get the kill. Disruption's the one to claim the money for it. 2-1. Standin 5 on the receiving end of these blows, but XRG does end up getting the kill on the bottom lane. As for top, RC's in trouble. The boulder smash will connect, but he does have the shield upon himself. There's the last word thrown down. RC's almost certainly going to die, and he knows it, so he decides to get some damage done onto the silencer instead. Does end up helping to get the kill. Now Pashu's got to run. He can't stick around and fight anymore. He has no mana to work with.
Yeah, what's important is the silencer did get that 2 intelligence before he ended up falling, and yeah, Abaddon really needs that intelligence as much as possible. He already has a lower mana pool to work with, if I'm not mistaken.
Abaddon's got 374. Yep.
Yeah, and 1 shield is 3 shields is not too bad, but
I mean, he is playing the Curse Max, the Aquatic Shield and Curse Max build, so
yeah,
mana isn't too much of a problem for him. I'd like to see Infused Raindrops being picked up though. You want to have that to deal with the last word damage kicking in. Anyway, Terrorblade's the one on the top of the net worth charts for now with 2300 net worth to his name. He's got 27 CS, and then you've got the Templar who is starting to really own that middle lane quite hard. Gondi, he's got a decent 19 CS, so it's not a complete loss. In fact, I'd say he's doing fairly well in the lane. Up against TA, who's got like 31 CS to run in.
do you think if I should just group up around the bot lane, push with Metamorphosis and Bloodlust? Would that do them any good? Because top have been a success. I mean, sure, they killed the Magnus once, but they've lost the Abaddon as well as the Ogre multiple times, and once more, it looks like this should be a kill on RC. He's got the magic wand, 6, 7, 8 charges, uses them, uses the shield, will be fine.
Yeah, he's alright. He does manage to survive there. While middle lane, there is a convergence of heroes coming in here. You've got Blue Frog on one side, and then you've got the Ogre on the other. They are ready to try and make something happen here.
Yeah, so Ogre gave up on trying to win. Abaddon is...
Bottom lane though.
He's
Again,
got this
trouble
favor.
for Me Too. He takes a hit. Where's the Fatal Bonds? It is on a couple of creeps. I'm kind of surprised Ice isn't going and whacking those creeps here.
He should be, but
It doesn't
Meetook's
matter.
got the shrine, yeah.
He's got the shrine. Anyway, back at top lane. We're looking at BFC Fangaze. Doing some work with RC. RC is going to get hit with high jumping upon him. But I don't think they can score this kill again. It is really a tough job killing down the Abaddon, but they're going to try nonetheless. Another Stifling Dagger is coming online, but this is going to be under the tower with the Aquatic Shield and the Infused Raindrops. And remember, RC has the Salve. But man, is he being cocky here. He deserves to die for this. What was he thinking?
He's got charges, but the last word kicks in, and that's another 2 intelligence for the silencer.
I am so confused. What prompted him to go back into that fight there? He didn't even pop the stick charges. Maybe if he popped the wand, he might have got a return kill, but it was so risky. It's such a risky play to make anyway.
Yeah, both Pashu on the Ogre and RC on the other. Been a little bit careless, and I don't know, they think they're bristlebacks already.
Meanwhile, Me Too ends up going down again as Disruption claims the kill. Missed another one. I'm so sorry, guys. Action happening all across the map, apparently, as Pashu will end up going down. That is 10 stolen intelligence, 7 minutes in on the silencer. And he hasn't even had to make too many rotations to get this work done.
I mean, honestly, Ogre dying time and time again to the same routine, it actually feels like he's getting dumber by the minute.
He does have 2 sets of brains though to work with. Mamacita, 3400 net worth. Puck is at 28 CS. 2400 net worth on the Puck. Blue Frog just kicking Mamacita away, but he's delaying the inevitable. He has the boots and is going to juke through the trees, but now Disruption gives chase. They don't want to chase too deep though. Up into fog would be a bad idea. You never know who's TP'd into the tier 1s to make a play. Meanwhile, Gondi, I'm going to force him to use some of his mana to try and retreat here.
Yeah, the TA is winning a lane, as she should. Puck not off to the greatest of starts, but I mean, what Puck really needs is probably a blink or a whale and just something to get the team fight started, ideally. Magnus having an absolute hard time in his off lane, and RC, it looks like the borrow time was triggered there, but he's okay. This time he respectfully backs out of there and uses the salve.
Yeah, he's died one too many times for his own good. But his team has grouped up. Standin 5, knowing that they have the advantage in the middle lane, are just going to try and take down this tier 1 tower. This is a crucial tower to take down because now it means they can smoke and move into the jungle through this path without fear of being spotted out or the smokes being revealed. It also means that they can find these wraparound ganks on the puck from all the way behind here without fear of TP rotations coming in under the tier 1 tower. So it puts the puck in a very dangerous situation, and look at this, she's already taking a lot of damage just from the side lanes coming out on account of the Blightstone Aquila and the power turns on the TA. Meanwhile, look at Pashu. He's out here by himself, but do they have enough damage to bring him down? In fact, Pashu's the one turning around here. Fatal Bond's connected on just the Magnus, so it's probably a terrible idea for Pashu to be here in the first place. Q is gonna whiff. Illusory Orb also whiffs. They're gonna drop a Dream Call for this, and then the Waning Rift will silence him at the last minute. Ice mans up with the Metamorphosis, but here comes the Phantom Assassin. There's no mana for the Thunder on Ice. He's got it available now that he's converted to Intelligence Threads. There's the Boulder Smash, it will connect. There's the Illusory Orb as well. He's not going to jump forward just yet. They're being careful. They're trying their best to kite around that Sunder. While the TA even hands over some bottle charges to him. Slow from the TA trap. Does TA really want to commit to this fight? There is a Curse of the Silent available from the Silencer as well, but the Fatal Bonds have connected on 3, so this is the cue for XRG to stay back and come back into the fight a little later.
Yeah, strange rotation coming out from the PA. Rotates all the way to the off lane. A coil was dropped, did get the kill on the Ogre, but really not the high impact coil that you were looking for early on. Effective nonetheless, and mid lane, Mamacita has got the refraction, but the silence is there, and with the orb as well. They do have damage coming out from the park, but he just pops the refraction, gets the hell out of there. Is fine for the time being. More rotations to help enable this Magnus get his farm. He started out with the Arcane Boots, has got reasonably good levels. Okay.
They're just shining up.
I thought it was an offensive at the
I think the more important thing is that rotation from 4 heroes on the side of XRG actually
gives RC space.
It gives RC some space, yes, but it did put the Metamorphosis on cooldown for another good minute now. I think XRG should be making some plays on the back of that, but the Earth Spirit is actually in no man's land. He's heading towards the top lane. I doubt he's going to reach RC in time to actually make this play. There's a TP coming from the Silencer again. RC just playing really ballsy there, going for that last hit on the range creep. While bottom, Magnus is out by himself here. No glimpse available since there's no disruptor this game. He can't afford to skewer and make a run for it. Pashu he had no mana for the Fire Blast anyway, so going for that kill was not their intention.
Is Warlock 6? Not yet. Earth Spirit lagging behind a little bit in terms of levels. Hasn't been that effective in the early game. I mean, he's helped kill the Abaddon a couple of times in lane, but he needs his level 6 soon to have some follow-up damage once the RP is there from the Magnus. But I like what Standin are doing. They're trying to push the bot. They were trying to push the bot lane out. It's not a bad idea to just group up and push now, as long as they have the drop to work with.
RC, last one does hit him, but he did have the Forest Shield. Negate some of the damage. If Crit connects, another borrow time gets triggered. They have a 60-second window now where they can kill the Abaddon. Even though XRG have the lead in terms of kills, Standin 5 are the ones leading in terms of net worth and EXP. Most of it is because the middle lane has gone so well. The middle and the bottom lanes have gone so well. Oh, we missed it. Apologies, guys. They're just diving left, right, and center here. As another 2 intelligence gets added to the Silencer standing. Apparently, they dived him under the tower, and he's died all the way here inside his tree line. Some really scary stuff coming out from XRG, committing a lot to score those kills on the Abaddon.
I think Terrorblade has popped the Metamorphosis and he's trying to make a trade happen.
Yeah, he did pop the Metamorphosis. Meanwhile, at top, we get again just a single hero Fatal Bond coming out onto Me2. He's close to his Blink Dagger, which is... It's a scary proposition for Standin 5 if this Magnus can pull out like a 15-minute Blink Dagger this game, despite having died multiple times in the bottom lane. You've also got to remember that a lot of the extra net worth in favor of Standin 5 is because they've taken down 2 tier 1 towers and they haven't lost any of theirs. The moment XRG starts to take some tier 1 towers of their own, that graph should start to come closer together.
Thoughts on the hood pickup on PA?
We've seen this before as well. In this particular game, I can't say I agree with it. Really, the magic damage is in the form of the fatal bounce and, well, pretty much the abandoned. You really need the hood here.
No.
You'd rather go for a Vlad's.
It is a good amount of gold. You could have gone for a Vlad's. Does allow you to fight, does allow your team to fight, does allow you to move into the jungle and catch up.
This is one of those autopilot builds, man. I've seen it done before, I'm going to do it as well. Anyway, Magnus skewers there. He's going to take the Ogre along for the ride with him. Meetup didn't even get up onto the cliff, so this should be his death. An Auto Venom hit slow will help the case, but there's a great Boulder Smash coming out from the Earth Spirit. That saves his life.
Yeah, I like what Pashu is doing. I mean, they've taken all outer towers, move into the enemy jungle, not give them any space to catch up. And this Magnus, boy, does he seriously need to do some catching up. Actually, I say seriously, but he's 18-man blink, is that good?
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
Considering it was an offlane Magnus and considering they haven't had too many opportunities to fight just yet. Maybe with an earlier blink tagger, they'd have been able to contest one of those tier 1 towers. But, I mean, having the blink ready for those tier 2 fights is not a bad proposition at all. Mamacita's building towards a Desolator, by the way. This is one of those games where you will inevitably need an MKB or a Bloodthorn.
Do you think it's worth giving the Desolator and building directly to a Bloodthorn?
Probably not, because then it's really easy for them to switch gears, for the PA to get a Manta, for the Puck to get his use.
Okay.
Bloodthorn is one of those items that doesn't feel like value for money in the game right now. It's just too easy to counter that silence with the items that most cores build in their natural trajectories anyway. I mean, think about it. If you're a Lina as a core, you build a Yules. If you're an Invoker, you almost always build a Yules. If you're a Juggernaut, you build a Manta style. Who do you really use the Bloodthorn against? And it is the most expensive item in the game as well. So there's no argument that can be made that, oh, it's great in the mid game. It is essentially a late game item.
Yeah.
Pretty certain we're going to see a buff to the Bloodthorn in the next patch. And there's almost always a patch after the majors, right? So expect something along those lines to come out soon.
Meetuk does have that blink dagger. Puck has it as well, but is the follow-up damage after the RP going to be there? They caught the Terrorblade, they brought him back. The Waning Rift is there. Orb as well. He can't get the Sunder off. The coil clips Ogre, who's just going to TP out of there. I say TP out of there, but BOC Fangly secures the kill. That's the blink reveal coming out from the Magnus, resulting in 2 quick kills and possibly a tier 1. And the 1 kill on the Terrorblade was huge. He was sitting on a lot of net worth, and that probably accounts for most of the gold change there.
Yeah, very likely that it does. As far as the amount of money that they got, it was the Phantom Assassin that got 300 gold from killing Terrorblade, and Pashu's death cost them about 222 gold on the side of the Radiant. They can't quite transition this into a tier 1 yet. I mean, TA is here to defend and does get a few hits off on that Phantom Assassin. So they don't get an objective off of those kills, but getting a kill on the Terrorblade is good enough. That said, Global Silence is now on cooldown for 79 seconds. Magnus's RP is on cooldown for a good 60. Standin 5 could well just group up and take an objective, and it looks like they want to claim Roshan. I mean, that's one way to dare them to take a fight, right? They move towards the pit.
Yeah, but
they're not ready. Terrorblade is towards the bottom lane.
I think they moved into the Rosh pit and Dire Vision scouted them out because Meetuk is hanging around.
I mean, they have a Deso finish on TA as well. They clearly want to fight at this point. It's again, great decision making coming out from Standin 5. Maybe not the best idea to actually start hitting Roshan, just move into the pit and pretend like you're taking Rosh, forcing XRG to come and fight you, and then jumping when you get the chance. Because they have the drop, they have the metamorphosis, and they have some vision with those TA traps being planted around as well. Look at that, Mamacita jumps in, there's him a new one. The drop is there to secure the kill on the silencer, and then they finish the job on the Earth Spirit as well. This will force XRG to back away, and yet they have to give up Roshan. So, I mean, I can't tell you how impressed I am by Standin 5 right now. I know I sound like a complete fangay here, but you don't get to see an Indian Dota team making these kind of calculated decisions anymore, barring of course the top few like Entity Esports.
Yeah, good stuff coming out from Standin. They moved into the Rosh pit. They knew the Dire were working against their cooldowns, and they took complete advantage of that. They picked up the Aegis. They picked up 2 quick kills on the Silencer and the Earth Spirit, and now with the Aegis and the Vlads on the Abaddon, sieging is on the cards. Metamorphosis is available to the Terrorblade, and it's going to take one huge RP for Team XRG to come back into this.
XRG meanwhile does, like you said, they have the RP, which is one of their biggest tools to work with. They're actually going back for a Midas on this Magnus, so they're clearly looking to hunker down for the late game. The Desto is now complete on high as well, so watch for this empowered Desto crits coming out, which could really rip through Standin 5. I think at this point, Standin 5's only objective in the team fights is to avoid getting caught in multiple hero RPs. If they can stay spread apart in the fights, keep their distance from each other, make sure that they've got Mamacita on the front lines with his Aegis and now their Dragonlance, while Terrorblade waits a little bit behind. That's how they've got to try and siege these buildings, because they've got only tier 3 towers to take down now. They've already taken down every single outer tower, but they've done it with a marginal lead. I say it's marginal, but it is a 10,000 network.
It is a marginal lead. I mean, a lot of that is all the outer towers that they've taken down, and Mamacita winning the mid lane. It could be one RP, and this game completely turns in favor of XRG. So I like what Standin 5 are doing. They aren't just grouping it mid and marching down the mid lane. They should ideally wait for the drop coming out from the Warlock. The skewer was an absolute miss. The orb is there from the park, but they're not confident of bringing down the Abaddon with the coil.
Just Symphony of Fails coming out from XRG. They kind of missed some of their spells, but again, RC is really pushing his luck here. It's fortunate for him that XRG doesn't have too many observer wards outside the map, which is why they couldn't quite commit to that kill on the Abaddon. But for now, the courier is making a run from it from Mamacita. Is that? No, that's actually the Radiant courier itself. So
yeah,
I got confused there for a moment.
Courier just doing Monkey King things.
Are they wasting their Aegis though, Standin 5?
No, I mean, now I think they are actually. They've got the drop, they've got Metamorphosis, TB has picked up the Manta style, they've got a mech as well. I guess group up and attempt to push.
Or they could just wait for the BKBs. There's nothing stopping them from just continuing to farm and take map control. Because what's essentially happened is they're farming a lot more efficiently than XRG are. They're pushing out the waves, they're applying pressure to the lanes. Phantom Assassin isn't getting nearly as much gold as the cores on the side of Standin 5. Look at that, 575, 555 on the TA and the Terrorblade, and then 429 on the Phantom Assassin. We might just see a fight breaking out, however. They want to force the issue with this Aegis. This is one of those games where I would have recommended just hanging back and using that Aegis to farm faster to get your BKBs, and then pushing the high ground. But this is a high risk, high reward play coming out. The Magnus comes in with the skewer, doesn't commit the RP just yet. They're going in on RC. His borrow time has been triggered, but they need to get him out of here. He doesn't want to stick around for much longer, as Mamacita continues to beat up on that tier 3. Some good chip damage has been done. They do escape with their lives for now. The borrow time on cooldown for 40 seconds.
I think they've got the Aegis. They just should dive or back out and wait for the next Roshan. Either dive and make use of this Aegis or just get the hell out of there.
But again, I think making use of that Aegis is the subjective, right?
Yeah, take down the tower. That's fair enough.
That's it. I think they should probably back out here and
move on to the shrines.
Yeah, I agree. Move on to the shrines, wait for the BKBs, and then go back regardless of whether or not we have the 8. But they want to force the issue. Mamacita will go back to working on those range barracks. They've got a shield, a refraction, and a last word. Look at that damage, man. Blue Frog almost goes down there. The sideways, he's looking for the line on it. He's hit knee hook a couple of times as well. HI, or rather High, gets beaten up as well. Now there's a shrine that's been popped already by XRG. They just cannot break through the damage that Mamacita's soaking up with that aquatic shield and the refraction. She jumped in forward, now takes a crit to the face. The refraction is not available, but the drop is with the fatal bonds connecting on 3. The global silence does come out, but the barracks have already fallen. They've done the damage here. The Aegis has been put to the best possible use as now gets expended. But look at the RP, it's only on the Terrorblade. They do bring him down, but are they gonna pay for that with their lives? Will the evasion kick in here? For High, it looks like it will. RC's got another borrow time available. It did come back off cooldown while the fatal bonds ends up killing off Blue Frog with the missed call coming out from the Abaddon. So they end up getting a kill. They're gonna lose far shoes. They've already lost their Terrorblade, but they did get the melee barracks and have left the range barracks crying for help here on the top lane.
Yeah, good stuff coming out from Standin 5. Mamacita, impeccable decision making in the middle of all that chaos. Kept the enemy heroes busy, took the buildings down as needed. One man RP on the Terrorblade. Yes, that was the best you could do in such a scenario.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say it's terrible.
He had the opportunity to get Terrorblade +2.
I think the only reason that was a good RP is because the Terrorblade did not have the Aegis. If the Terrorblade was the Aegis holder in that fight, I think things would have gone a lot differently for Standin 5. They might have got a cleaner takedown in the barracks and maybe even a more successful team fight. I mean, it's a lot more threatening to have a metamorphosized Terrorblade with an Aquatic Shield and an Aegis hitting your towers as opposed to a Refraction TA right-clicking on it.
Right. And now TA's got the BKB. I guess all she'll be aiming to do is pop the BKB, maybe keep them busy, and let the Terrorblade siege with his metamorphosis.
Yeah, we were talking about how score isn't an accurate indicator of what the game looks like.
Absolutely.
Look at this, Standin 5, they're trailing behind by 5 kills. They're 6 versus 11 on the XRG.
Yeah.
But they're ahead by about 15,000 net worth and EXP, and they've blown a hole inside the Dire base. So while they haven't scored too many kills, their lineup isn't built for pickoffs. It is built for grouping up and taking objectives once they hit their power spike. XRG, on the other hand, their lineup was built for pickoffs, but they just didn't quite get enough. Almost got a mech finished up on the Silencer now. Another layer of defense on them, but they're losing shrines now. Terrorblade should have gone for a BKB, but it looks like he's going to be going for a Skadi instead. I disagree, heavily disagree with that item choice here. Maybe would have added much more value.
Yeah, but if solo RPs are coming out on you, you'd maybe go for the Skadi.
No, I still think you go for the BKB, man.
He's got Manta to deal with all the silence. Oh, there's the RP. It's TA trying to do a best. TA pops a BKB, turns around. There is a melted, but it's not. It looks like TA might end up falling. I really like this coming out from XRG. Fighting when the golem is on cooldown. RC out of position on the Abad and border time on cooldown will end up falling.
Well, but here's the problem, right? While they did commit with the RP, they didn't get the kill on the core. They ended up getting the Abaddon, sure, but now they can come back and then fight once more. Blue Frog, man, he's taken a lot of damage here, and Melrit will seal the deal, but Mamacita kind of groups up on that one. Meanwhile, behind, you've got the PA jumping in. Now Basher goes to work. They will commit the drop, and it's a dead Phantom Assassin for 50 seconds, and they want more. The TA trap will slow down Meetuk a little bit. He's going to take a Melrit following him. Oh, he tries for the Sire Blades, but doesn't quite get it. Meetuk was out of range and will blink away. But this is it, Standin 5. No RP, no Global Silence, no Phantom Assassin. Easy barracks for them, really.
I like the idea coming out from XRG. You've got RP, the enemy doesn't have drop, maybe try and... But the problem was, they didn't find the pickoff they were looking for. They went onto the TA and TA got out of there. And it just goes to show that PA is lacking in terms of damage. Doesn't have enough damage to bring down the TA, even with the Empower coming out. And that's a dieback on the puck. And Gondi calls it double G.
Called it, man. It's over. XRG getting outplayed here, I have to say. They found that one pickoff, but Standin 5, it's almost as if they're waiting for XRG to blow the RP and the Global Silence. If they don't get team wiped when the RP and the Global Silence are down, Standin 5 just groups up, pushes, and takes a very crucial objective. Smart plays coming out from them. They did exactly what their lineup was meant to do. Great stuff coming out. Well, folks, this is where we wrap up the Dota game for the day. Hope you guys have had an absolute blast. I'm CloudX. With me was Vivek. We're from AFK Gaming. And of course, if you've enjoyed, hit the subscribe button on the ESL India YouTube channel. And you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm at The Real CloudX. And Vivek is at VEEWAKE. That is Vivek. For now, though, stick around. Don't go anywhere. Your daily dose of Chore Police is coming right up. We'll see you guys later.
Just a little time. Know your addiction's not a crime. It's just a smaller part of who you want to become in the end. When the snow is on her mind, rows and rows and lines in the haze of your fixation. We all crave for you, we all crave. And you can kill the wildest thing. When you murder, it's a sin. In the midst of your conviction, we all crave for you, we all crave.
Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL India Premiership 2017. This is Day 9 live stream brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX, Zowie by BenQ, and organized by Nordwind Gaming. I'm Vagish Gosleban, and everybody joining us right now on our Facebook page of ESL India and the YouTube gaming channel of ESL India. Welcome one, welcome all. You've just joined right in the nick of time because we are going to be proceeding ahead and streaming to you the best game, one of the games of Counter-Strike Global Offensive between two very intimidating teams. Now, there's a reason why I've chosen this particular word here. Now, in the current Counter-Strike Global Offensive standings, we have three teams. We have Risky Gaming, we have Dare to Dream, and Entity Esports leading the leaderboards right now, as you can see on the screen also. But moving on, today's match, we have two games between four teams. One is between Dare to Dream and Risky Gaming, which will be streamed live to you, and one is happening off stream, which is between SemperX and Brutality. Now, talking a little bit about the off stream match, Brutality, a lot of you guys would remember the team from the 1.6 days. They are a pretty magnanimous team. They have been trying hard to succeed. They've only secured like one Palsy win right now in the ESL India Premiership 2017, but a lot of fan base believes in the team, and they hope that this time around they can bring a swift comeback, because probably that's what Brutality is known for, the last minute comebacks in game. And they're going to be faced off against SemperX, which is featuring quite an amazing player called Mythilef. Now, this could be a challenge for Brutality to face off in whichever match they choose. Now, moving on, we're going to be streaming to you this amazing match, which a lot of you would remember from last year's Masters 2016 if you guys were here. Now, Dare to Dream happens to be the only team so far in the ESL India Premiership which has the honor, I would like to say, and use the word honor, to beat Risky Gaming, because Risky Gaming hails from UAE. It's a seeded team, and so far they have been undefeated in the ESL India Premiership 2017. Will Dare to Dream be able to like cut their victory short? Will they be able to make a mark, because they've got the crazy Obster Antidote Sabissachi Bose there. Leading the team is Hellranger. So the point is, will Dare to Dream stand out today, or will they again create history, or will they fall down to the machine that is Risky Gaming? That is for us to find out as we go ahead and check out the game. Our casters should be just about ready. So guys, if you're online, get hooked onto your seats, because this match is definitely going to raise a lot of goose pimples. I don't know if goose pimples was correct, but I mean, this match is going to be intense. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the ESL India Premiership 2017. I'm Vagish Gosleban, and we're just about to begin with Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Don't go anywhere.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
Just a little time. Know your addiction's not a crime. It's just a smaller part of who you want to become in the end. You paint a picture in my mind. You wanna leave it all behind. In a world that's turning all the time, nothing could stop me longing for your eyes. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't be alone.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
Personalize the way you see everything, and then conquer. Exclusive Black Equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes. Adjust the angle effortlessly for maximum comfort.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's Counter-Strike time again, and today we're going to be seeing the matchup between Risky Gaming versus Team Dare to Dream. Risky Gaming from Dubai and D2D, our very own D2D homegrown team from Mumbai. Well, they hail from a variety of places, but the HQ is based out of Mumbai, I think. And yeah, the map is going to be trained. Curious pick coming in from the two teams because, well, Risky Gaming looked an almost unstoppable force going into the train map last time around when they played in the previous iteration of the Masters series. D2D no slouches on train either. It is one of Hellranger's favorite maps to call on. So you can always expect this. You can expect this game to be a cracker of a match, as they say in the world of cricket. Well, all said and done, Risky Gaming, I think, are still undefeated in the tournament so far. And for good reason. They won the last year's Masters series, and they're a force to be reckoned with once unleashed. A very, very momentum and confidence-based team. If you let Risky get into their stride and get going, there's literally no coming back from you. I think we have a disconnect coming in from Risky Gaming right now. Yep, there is a disconnect coming in. So yeah, we're gonna wait till they join back to D2D in that case. Still playing in with the stand-in, Kappa. He's standing in for Poker F today. We have Blackhawk, Antidote, Hellranger, Shabby, and Kappa. Over onto the other side, we have Carry Bob, we have Greens. The previous iterations, MVP was Greens. Greens just turned up and decimated almost every other team he faced off against. I think this man dropped 40 bombs like nobody's business. He kept dropping 40 bombs all the way up till the finals against Invisible Wings. That was erstwhile Sai's team, and there it was their coach Osman who carried that game. And the curious thing about the last time around they came to India and won, in the Masters LAN was that they were playing with the stand-in. Yes, that's right. Osman, their coach, was standing in for their fifth player. I think it was Kit Kat. Not really sure. One of their players couldn't get a visa, so he had to play in his stead. And still, they managed to beat out every team they faced quite convincingly. They only dropped one map, and that was Cobblestone, and that was to D2D themselves. So D2D, the only Indian team I think till date who have managed to, sneak a win past Risky so far. At least in my, to the best of my knowledge. I could be wrong. If I am, please, I know you in chat will be more than happy to let me know in your most colorful language. But yeah, I think there's some connection issues. They are tuning in from Dubai, so it's gonna be a bit of a problem. I think their VPNs are acting up right now. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But the game has been paused. We're waiting for the fifth player from Risky Gaming to join back into the server. And once they do, we're gonna go live with the pistol round. The knife round being picked up by D2D. Hence, they start on the CT side on Train. Obviously, the CT side always will be the favored side on a map like Train. It's crucial to build up your rounds and get as much of a buffer as possible on the CT side on a map like Train. But on the flip side, Risky is a team that is absolutely explosive on their T side on Train as well. They will literally bombard and barrel into bomb sites and just overwhelm the defense and wrestle the control of the bomb site from any team unlucky enough to be playing CT side against them. However, it's not like they're completely immune to any and all oppositions. I have seen Risky actually capitulate against counter aggression. If the CTs meet their aggression head on and just stop them in their tracks, or at least try to, Risky will back off and start giving you the respect you deserve. So let's see what kind of strats D2D calls, what kind of setups Hell has in mind against Risky. It's always curious to watch him call against Risky because he's one of those IGLs in India that never gives up, and it's his goal in life to actually set up a meaningful team that is competitive at the international level, not just the Indian scene. So let's see how his journey towards that goal is going. Recently, they did have a few upsets. They dropped out of the Corbex tournament in the league, in the group stages itself, didn't qualify for the playoffs. They suffered a loss at the hands of Brutality a few days ago on Mirage, one of their stronger maps. So a few questions about their form has been raised, but all was silenced yesterday by D2D when they literally steamrolled through elements on Cobblestone. So while we wait for the fifth player to connect, we'll cut to a short break and I'll be back right afterwards. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back as soon as the fifth player joins. So stick around and see you in a bit.
I'm sinking in the hollow ground. Nothing can stop me wanting you somehow. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back and all 5 players from Risky Gaming have joined the server. Risky starting on the T side and D2D starting on the CT side. Their setup's fairly standard, Blackhawk with the smoke and the kit, and Risky on the other hand, Greens with the Raid Boss setup. There's the Armor Tech 9, Breaker running, Utility 1, Molotov 2, Flashbangs, and Carry Bob. Having dropped the Tech 9 to to Greens, is going to play the with the single smoke picked up, and Hellranger playing very passive here by the inner bomb side. It looks like it's going to be an inner hit. And yeah, the deep smoke to cut off any vision for the CTs. Oh, Hellranger with a nasty headshot onto Havoc. And KitKat replying in kind. Trades, very fairly even trades going in, but in the meantime, KitKat is just barreling up the B bomb side and just tapping away with that Glock. Kicking ass and taking names. In the meantime, Antidote finds the kill onto Greens. Greens, the raid was going down fairly easily. And there we go, Shabby with the kill onto KitKat. That brings it down to a 2v4. No Molotovs left. Oh, there we go. The Molotov does go down onto the bomb, but they do have a kit. So this should be an easy defuse coming in. Blackhawk sticking the defuse. In the meantime, Carry Bob getting into a gunfight with Antidote and will get knifed down. Shanked in the ribs by Shabby. Good night, Carry Bob. D2D clinched the pistol round. 1 round on the board for them, and they do it fairly convincingly. In the end, losing just, I think they just lost 2 players. 1 player, that too, during regulation time. The last player to fall there was Antidote, and he did so after the bomb had been defused. So no harm, no foul. Moreover, money for days for Shabby. He got the knife bonus, the $1,500, the Skrilla. Now, immediate. Oh, I like this. So, Risky not going in for the risky force, but they did get the bomb down, so they'll be able to buy into the next round, no questions asked. They're just gonna go with upgraded pistols, 4 P250s and 1 1 Glock. The main objective again will be to just try and get the bomb down. In the meantime, 2 players from Risky making a lot of noise by Pop Dog. Hellranger in the meantime to find Carry Bob again. Hellranger opening things up with a nice little scalping session. There we go. He's just continuing Kappa with the kill onto KitKat, and then he's gonna sail over. And look at that, a double Kobe from Hellranger. He is here. He means business. He's not gonna let this bomb even go down. Good night, Greens. Hellranger with a massive 4K. It was a pistol round. It was an anti-eco. So keeping all 5 players alive, that's crucial. Now they can start building up their economy. Anyway, match has been paused. I think it's a tactical timeout. So the rifles do come out onto Risky, and Breaker gonna play the UMP, the utility role mainly. And the op out onto Shabby. I mean, why not? He got that knife kill. Very good investment to have going into the second round. So he's gonna go bring out the big greens right off the bat. And they need all the firepower they can get, because once Greens gets his hand on his preferred weapon of choice, which is the AK-47, he is a force to be reckoned with. In the meantime, Shabby gonna take the op over to Connector. And look at that Hellranger just smoking off deep into upper. And I like this Blackhawk taking a very advanced position by Red Train, but he's playing by Sandwich, and he's gonna hear all of this and lines 2 people up. Down goes the entire Risky squad. Finally, Blackhawk does get taken down, and Shabby playing a very dangerous game by Bomb Train. He does the right thing. He falls back, but now it's all left onto Breaker. He's managed to recover the AK-47 dropped by his teammate. And there we go. Gets shot in the back by Hellranger on the quick rotate. 3-0 to Risky, and now 3-0 to Dare to Dream, and now Risky will have to go for a very hard eco. Alright, just 1 upgrade, 3 upgraded pistols on Risky, 3 P250s, 2 Glocks. This should be, again, a round where they mainly look to get the bomb down and nothing more. Hellranger's gonna hear this, will drop that Molotov. That should delay the push, but 2 people have made their way onto upper. Hellranger needs to play this carefully, he can't go down. and give up a rifle. And I like what Risky is doing. They made a lot of noise over by upper, and now I think they're falling back to top dog. And this push ought to be covered. Havoc being already spotted, leaving T-mid. Blackhawk, like a hawk, watching his angles, but Havoc playing it very smart. In the meantime, Shabby with the first kill, and Blackhawk chiming in with a quick double kill, and Shabby with a double kill of his own, scalping Parry Bob with the op, and Kappa to close things off with a free haircut onto Breaker. Flawless round so far from D2D. Yet another anti-eco, very well played. Antidote having had very little to do thus far. He's sitting on $8,000, and finally the double op does come out. Train being one of those maps where a double op is not only viable, but it is absolutely valuable. Like, it is more or less imperative that CTs, if they have the opportunity to go double up, they should. Really adds the defense capabilities to the CT sides and bolster up defenses. And it's primarily because of the long range encounters that you have on this map. In the meantime, Kappa might just see a lot of action very, very soon. There's Hellranger just quickly jiggle peeking. Just waiting for a hint of any opposition presence. And there we go. He does see it. Does get taken down really low. He's internally leading at 5 HP. And there we go. Down goes Hellranger. And in the meantime, Antidote also has been taken on. That's the entire inner bomb control. Oh, but Blackhawk pushing through that fire and the flames, but does go down to greens eventually, leaving Shabby and Kappa with it all to do. Kappa on the quick flank. Will they be expecting it? Is the question. Green just caught with his pants down, getting scalped, leaving it down to a 2v2. And they're so far away. Kappa's just going to stick this. Oh, no, not like this. Oh, and D2D clutch this round somehow. Risky will be absolutely heartbroken. There we see Breaker taking a timeout in the corner of shame, as they call it. That's just so unfortunate, the previous round, that Breaker was so far away that even the bomb did go down. The rotation was just so slow to come in. Kappa just ice in his veins. He just stuck that defuse knowing that there's two players alive and just didn't budge and had that in the nick of time. But in the meantime, look at that. Greens and Breaker breaking open that D defense yet again. And there we go. The CT side will be immediately calling for that save, because they don't have the money anymore. They lost all 5 players, and even though they've just won 5 rounds in a row. That's how punishing the CT economy can be. And that's the big equalizer on a map like Train. And especially, the economy is especially wrecked because they kept buying into this double op setup. And once you lose that, there is just no coming back from that. But yeah, I don't think the save was managed that well. One rifle does get taken off, and Risky's money isn't looking all that great. Either they lost 2 players unnecessarily over towards the end of that round. The thing is, for the CT side, the economy game has to be brought down to sheer perfection. And the thing is, on a map like Train, you need all the utility that you can use. There are certain maps that you can get away with without having too much utility, that being Mirage, Cache, and all that. Utility always helps though. But there are certain maps, Cobblestone, Train, Overpass, where utility is more important in some circumstances than weaponry. Yeah, I'm not kidding. You can literally turn rounds based off of the utility you have at your disposal and how you choose to use it. Train is one of those maps. And especially against an explosive side like Risky, you need to keep your utility on hand for the retakes to dissuade and disallow these explosive pushes, these absolutely Hail Mary pushes that Risky is very famous for. And Hellranger booking it out of there, and Kappa rotating in for the assist there onto the B-bomb side. He's going to be fearlessly pushing up smoke. Breaker's going to be very carefully watching this push. He knows, he's aware someone might be cheeky. And there we go. Breaker takes down Kappa. In the meantime, Blackhawk's already on the flank. Will someone be watching it? Yep, Breaker just always aware. Look at this man. He spots at the top of his head. Oh, I think that's just the X-ray. And in the meantime, yeah, the call for the save does go in. Blackhawk shouldn't tempt fate. Just should quietly fall back and maybe try for some exits. Like I said, once Risky start hitting their stride, they're a force to be reckoned with. Antidote does find the kill onto Kit Kat, but that just gives away his position. Not a big fan of this hunt. Let them go, let them save. It's alright. It's alright. Their money isn't that great. But knowing D2D and their affinity for force buys, I won't be surprised if Hell calls a force buy. He shouldn't, because his entire team can buy up in unison in the next round. I think which is what they are actually contemplating. It is a tactical timeout called by D2D. And we're going to see, well, pistols have been upgraded immediately off the bat. Kappa's money is not looking that good. They're on a 2-round lose streak, so they'll be getting a 3rd round win bonus, loss bonus, which is going to be $2,400 for the next round. So they need to be very, very careful not to overextend their economy. Kappa will be on a very stretched buy. He's going to manage to cobble together $4,300. The rest of the team, although, will be sitting around that 5k mark, so they'll be able to buy into the next round regardless of the outcome, provided they keep this status quo maintained, this same amount of money on each player. And why I'm saying this is that it's crucial that Shabby doesn't invest further into this round, because if he doesn't, he's going to be sitting at 6k, which allows him to pick up the op as well as armor, and maybe a smoke. Oh, good god. Okay, cool. Nobody listens to me. I'm just a noob caster. What do I know, right? It's not like I spend my days watching CS all day. But anyway, that's all the investment. 3 nades, so most likely we might see a T-mid nade stack. That's a very common strat on eco rounds for CTs. But nope, looks like a semi-stack. And in the meantime, they're going to go rushing up inner. And Green waiting on the corner, and they're lined up for Blackhawk. This aggression paying huge dividends for the CTs. In the meantime, they have quite a lot of information and the man advantage, and they do the smart thing. They fall back and they regroup. They're all in the inner bomb site. The outer bomb site has just been left by Hellranger for them to take it. They're going to play for the retake. This is a very smart play coming in from D2D. This is why I really enjoy watching Hell call. His calls are just so unpredictable and so unique for the scene. Look at this, Harry Bob taking up position over by Heaven. He's going to play Overwatch now, just guarding the bomb like a hawk from way up above. It isn't being planted for him though. He's gonna have a blind spot going in for this if they do go in for the retake. And Havoc in the meantime does find the kill onto Shabby. And look at this Blackhawk. He's gonna make his way down Top Dog. It's gonna be watched though. Havoc's watching that like a hawk, and that flashbang's gonna blind him, but through the flashbang, Havoc landing that kill. Okay, then Antidote finally getting 1 kill, 2 kill. He's on a 2k already. Can he find this final kill onto Havoc is the question. He's playing smartly. He's not giving himself up. He's playing by Top Dog, and oh, he's gonna flash himself out. Oh, unfortunate there. Antidote playing that to near perfection to the very end of the round, but Havoc just gonna sneak that round past him. Very well played there, D2D. I have to give it to you. That was a very well orchestrated round. Unfortunately, the trades did not go in your favor. The post plants coming in from the T's were just immaculate, and Havoc just went beast mode there. Like, even though he was blind as a bat, he got the kill onto Blackhawk, who came out of Pop Dog there. Very, very unfortunate, or fortunate. Depends on what side of the fence you're looking at it from. Anyway, over on the A-bomb side, and Green's finding Blackhawk. The man advantage straight up going to the T's. They do invest into this double op setup though, and it might just wreck their economy even further. But no, Kappa having something to say about that, equalizing the man disadvantage. But in the meantime, Shabby has taken a lot of damage. He's down to 19 points of health. He's hemorrhaging a lot of blood internally. And the T's, they're more than content to let the clock play down. They don't need to aggress, and they're more than happy to just sit back and enjoy. They have a minute left to play with, and I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do. They're going to play with every second available to them. In the meantime, Shabby watching Ivy like a hawk. KitKat just managing to sneak past his crosshair. Shabby needs to be very careful. Kappa doing the smart thing, flashing and falling back. And in the meantime, Hellranger playing by this pool, or cloud as I call it. Oh, and spots out Carry Bob, unable to react in time. Down goes Carry Bob, and that's the man advantage back with D2D. And Antidote watching inner the ramp. Sights trained with the op, and Kappa managing to get the kill onto KitKat. This is all falling apart way too fast. Risky, I don't know what kind of game they're playing, but Breaker somehow with the auto sniper flicks onto Kappa and ends him, and the plant will go down. Will he be able to make his way out though? Nope. Shabby not letting him escape, gets the kill. In the meantime, Havoc with the op. Oh, and they almost line up for him. Antidote, the last player left alive, and he's gonna stick it. I'm pretty sure he's sticking it. Yeah, he's sticking it. He's not gonna fake. Pros don't fake. And Havoc just a second too late. And D2D registered their 6th round on the board on the TCT side of Train. Yet again, Antidote, ice in his veins. Absolute ice. Not even flinching on the face of imminent danger and death. Havoc rattling a few shots off through the smoke. In the meantime, Blackhawk needs to be careful. He's just got an ump at his disposal. If D2D loses, their economy will be shattered yet again, and KitKat opening things up. He's just bombing into the bomb site, but Blackhawk having none of that shenanigans up in here, and he knows that there's someone to play Pop Dog, and there we go. Havoc gets the kill onto Blackhawk there, shutting him down instantly. In the meantime, we have Hell, who's on the flank. Needs to be careful here. Shabby gonna peek out. He's been smoked off. I like this. Like this usage of utility. All positions have been smoked off in this post plant. That allows them and buying them some time to take more advantageous positions. But no one's watching Ivy. That could be a problem. Shabby is still in Ivy. Oh, but Havoc instantly getting the kill. And Hellranger to fall. Antidote in the meantime left all alone in a 1v3, and he knows there's no way in hell that he's gonna clutch it. So he's gonna book it. He's gonna make his way out of here and just try and get the save. But look at this, Havoc already 10 steps ahead, and Antidote gonna just walk into his welcoming crosshairs, and down goes Antidote. No save for you. 4 rounds on the board for Risky Gaming. Anyway, like I said, the money on D2D is completely gone. All they have is 2 USPs and 2 P250s, and the question is, what can they make of it? Oh, they're gonna push up Ivy, they're gonna risk this. KitKat heard the footsteps, he's gonna fall back. In the meantime, Greens does find the kill on the Kappa. Hellranger and Kappa getting put down by Havoc. KitKat yet to see a single person, and I don't know, maybe Antidote just might be able to catch him. And the answer to that question is a resounding no. KitKat with a double scalping there off the CT side, and this looks like it's going to be 5 rounds on the board. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy for Team Risky. There we go, just taking 1 point of damage, and that too onto Greens. That is as clean an anti-eco as you can possibly imagine. And now, because the economy was just so dire for D2D, they might just have to double eco this. And yep, they will be going. And at the most, they can go for a few upgraded pistols. And they're going for the armor pistol buy. Alright, they'll have a little less utility going into the next round. But that's not going to be all of them, just Hellranger and Blackhawk. The rest, they might be able to afford the ops even. Yet again, Shabby coming off worse for the wear in that altercation, and they need to be careful. If they go down Pop Dog, they might just walk into the welcoming 5-7 off Blackhawk, but no, the aim punch will deny him the kill. In the meantime, Antidote swings in and at least manages to get 1 kill. Hell is already on the flank. But Shabby gets burnt alive and he does pick up the AK-47, but Havoc rattles off a shot and unlikely miss coming in from him. Beneath him, Breaker and Havoc both have their sights trained, and then they're just doing the alternating dance of death between Sandwich and E-Box, and finally Hell does fall to the op of Breaker. Breaker, sorry for the upcoming pun, but breaking any hopes and dreams of Hellranger having an epic 1v4 clutch in that round. Now finally the buy comes out, the op out onto Antidote, and he's playing a very, very risky angle. Oh, look at that wall bang, but Antidote peeks out and returns the favor. Instant lobotomy performed there onto Breaker. Their man advantage through the CTs, but, well, Antidote is now effectively out of the round. He has to take this op and play as passive as possible, but what a shot. I think he's been watching one too many Swag videos, because that's exactly the kind of thing that Swag would do. Swag, the streamer for Cloud9, if you're not aware. In the meantime, the two Ts are slowly making their way up Ivy. Okay, well, now they fall back. Playing just a game of, you know, pop goes the weasel, I guess. Keep the CTs guessing as to their ulterior motives. Bomb will get picked up. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be an outer hit through and through. Shabby gonna see some action, and no one's checking Ivy. I don't like this. Finally, Greens does look back, but he gets flashed and hit. What? Shabby, what? In the meantime, okay then. Oh, Hellranger getting naded and shot and everything in between. And it's down to a 2v2. Antidote internally bleeding, but Havoc's not in the pink of health either, but Havoc gets a drop onto Antidote. Now it's all down to Blackhawk in a 1v2 situation. He knows where one is playing from, but they've both changed. Where they're playing from, and now one's by E-Box, one by Olaf. He needs to be careful. Should find and try and isolate the 1v1s that are more than up at his disposal. There we go. He does spot the player onto E-Box. I don't know what Blackhawk's trying to do. Does spot Havoc as well. He knows where both players are playing from now. But the problem is that they can peek out and kill him regardless. And he's running down. He doesn't have a kit. And in the meantime, Carry Bob has repositioned himself, and the time is just not with him. And there we go, the timer running out, and it's going to be 7-6 to Risky Gaming on their T side on Train. And to those of you in chat who are saying Swag is a player noob, let me inform you, he is still banned from Valve events. He's just allowed to play on non-Valve affiliated events. In fact, he was just allowed to play on CS Summit, and I don't think he's allowed in any other events because he's got a perma-ban for the iBuyPower skin scandal. So please, please, take your misinformation and shove it up where the sun don't shine. Thank you very much. And by that, I am addressing, what's your face? Oh yeah, Mr. Jagamer Gaming, whatever. In the meantime, it is a tactical timeout being called by Team D2D. They need to figure out their money situation, and they need to figure it out fast because Blackhawk did manage to save an AK-47. So let me just see. Yeah, they've lost 5 rounds in a row, so they're on max loss bonus at this moment. And yeah, so will we see a force buy is the question. They should buy it. Maybe at the most they should go in for an armor pistol buy and buy down to 2k, not more, not less, because they're gonna get 3400 for the last round, for losing this round, if they lose this round, and then they can go into the final round of the half with at least all the rifles that they need, and utility and the rifles and everything across the board. And while this pause gets called off, I'll just take a drink. I have been casting for quite a while and now a bit thirsty. Not tired. I don't get tired. I love doing what I'm doing. So just gonna take a drink of water. Don't go anywhere. And the match does get. Oh, goody, my luck. And as I suspected, 2 players buying down to 2K. They're gonna have. Yeah, they're gonna buy down to $2,000 approximately. So it's gonna be an armor pistol buy up. They're not going to have too much trouble. I don't think Risky will have too much trouble dispatching off with this semi-buy coming in from D2D. They have looked to be a very dominant force up till now. And mind you, this is a very CT-sided map. So for them to come out on top of this, in the meantime, Blackhawk does cat, but in the meantime gets immediately traded by Carry Bob. And Carry Bob just continuing his utter reign of terror, getting the second kill as well on to Kappa. And now Havoc just going to jump to the side and decapitate Shabby. Shabby, man, you have to pounce on your opportunities, and that's exactly what Antidote does. Pops right out and smacks Green in the smack bang in front of his face with that P250. But in the meantime, that's all she wrote for D2D. 2 players lost on to Team Risky, and they have 8 rounds on the T-Half Untrained. That is really, really impressive. 8 rounds on the board, and finally a buy round does come in, and the double upside up back out onto Antidote and Shabby. D2D, both ops though, watching the same angle. This is curious. They have to be paranoid to be that scared of having 2 ops trained on the Pop Dog. That is how difficult Risky have been for Team D2D. Meantime, Havoc just strolling and waltzing into the bomb site. Will Shabby find the pick? Yes, he does. Spots the top of his head and takes it clean off. Back to a 4v4. In the meantime, there's a lot of action happening over by the inner bomb site. Hellranger, Greens does spot him out, but I don't know if he sees him exactly. Hellranger is just playing by that crack, and KitKat makes his way all the way out to Old Hell. And Shabby just playing on the bomb train, does spot out the leg there. Double scopes in. He's really tunnel visioned onto KitKat's position. In the meantime, he's now aware that a flank just might come in. What is this? Did everybody on the T side buy an op? Okay then. And they somehow might just win this. Keck. Well, that was unexpected. Oh, Antidote does spot out KitKat going towards Heaven. In the meantime, Hellranger is planning to flank them from Pop Dog. Post-plant positioning pretty decent. Bomb has gone down. There's not a single kit onto either player, so they need to make a move quick. Antidote just inching his way towards the bomb site. He knows that there's someone in Heaven, and there we go. KitKat does manage to get the kill. Oh, okay then. KitKat and Antidote just getting into a no-scope brawl, and Breaker breaks that with his P250. 9 rounds on the T side for Risky Gaming. 9-6 is the score at halftime. My god, have D2D a mountain to climb on their T side. And that final round had to be a troll round from Risky. Everybody bought a scoped weapon. That's just adding insult to injury there. Fairly standard setup for the pistol round, except for Havoc. Havoc's positioning very aggressive up by Pop Dog. He's just watching ladder like a hawk. The question is, will he be tempted to push it? Is the question. It is the $1 million question, but for now, he's holding the angle rather patiently. On the flip side, Breaker holds ramp. 2 players playing fairly advanced. If they manage to get a drop onto either of these players, they can just literally waltz into any bomb site, and Havoc finally relinquishing that advanced position. Excuse me. And now, see a lot of scuttling about here from Risky Gaming. It's like they're not sure where, you know, they ought to be playing from. And I just want to... Oh, Havoc does spot out Kappa. And now they know that there's someone's very close up top dog. In the meantime, they still don't aggress in. That's the thing. And KitKat getting found by Antidote. Antidote just being a nuisance over by Ivy. That's going to draw the attention even further. And now finally the pop dog attack comes in. Havoc scalps Kappa but gets mauled to death in return by Shabby, who's playing the raid boss setup with the armor Tech 9. Here we go. The T's come screaming into the outer bomb site. And Green's just tapping away and just taking heads. And he's just the bone collector right now. The Grim Reaper. And Antidote left all alone in a 1v3. He needs to make something miraculous happen, but will he be able to, is the question. Sits, stands, taps, nothing's hitting, and he finally goes down to the CZ of Breaker. 10 rounds on the board for Risky, and they really needed to take that pistol round if they wanted to manage to mount a comeback. Anywho, KitKat with the scout. Oh, the damage done onto Shabby there. Absolutely wrecking him. Down to 11 points of health. But KitKat takes a lot of damage in return as well. He needs to fall back down. And Blackhawk in the meantime getting the kill onto Breaker. And it is going to be an IV play. And KitKat just waiting patiently by the edge of that smoke. In the meantime, Carry Bob has dropped the bomb and spots out Antidote. And KitKat does get taken out in the meantime by Hellranger. But the bomb's down. That's round over, more or less. There's no way that they're gonna get the bomb. And there we go. Havoc ending Hellranger, and that leaves Blackhawk all alone. And he's gonna get spammed down by Greens. Oh god, this is getting out of hand. They do make a meal of it, but then that rotation coming out from Carry Bob and having the presence of mind to come and sit in CT spawn just completely cut off that play that Hellranger had called to go from IV to B right at the bud. And once they had the bomb down, that's all she wrote for that round for D2D. I mean, I don't get it. Why would you lead a charge with the bomb? Keep the bomb somewhere safe. Make sure you have like a safe passage for it to travel through, and then bring it into the play. Without knowing what awaits you beyond the corner. Oh, that hop flash though. Catching Blackhawk smack in the face. But Hellranger glocking Carry Bob down. But in the meantime, it's not over. Breaker here has to do something. He needs to try and get away. On 7 points of health, he will make it. Somehow he makes it to safety. Somehow. But in the meantime, again, re-aggression up by Havoc. Wreaking havoc, as they say, on this T side. They're losing guns, but at this point, I really don't think they care. And that's a really nice MP9. It's a really, really nice MP9. There we go. Oh, the spray battle. Finally, KitKat pulling out the pistol and shooting Antidote, the last player left alive on D2D. And now finally the buy does come out from Dare to Dream. I mean, they have a mountain to climb right now. If they can mount a comeback against Risky right now, it would go down in the annals of CSGO history as possibly one of the best comebacks ever. But wow, before I even got done saying that sentence, Breaker has already put one nail in the coffin with the kill onto Antidote. Unfortunate there. Really unfortunate. And Carry Bob still sticking with the UMP. I mean, it's a very viable weapon in the current meta. Does a ton of damage at close range and is fairly accurate at close to mid ranges. And it looks like it's gonna be a pop dog play, so an A-pincer move. We have to be very careful. Havoc playing a very cheeky angle over from heaven right now. and the Molotovs come raining in, the flashbangs, the nades, and all the utility at their disposal. They just come raining out, and there we go. Havoc finding the kill onto Blackhawk with the auto sniper, and Breaker just no respect gameplay. Look at this man go. He's just okay then. Well, that's that. Wow, that round was over fast. And now again Risky completely breaking Dare to Dream's economy, and they're on a force buy of their own. Pistols, armor, a couple of flashbangs, and 2 smokes. That's all they have to work with this round. And Breaker now taking his op over to Ivy. That flashbang's not going to do anything to deter Breaker in his position. And oh, that's a nice bait. Kappa baiting out that shot, and Hellranger in the subsequent peak does rattle off a shot. But here's the thing, he doesn't have a gun. He has a Tech 9 to work with. If they tried this on a gun round, it might have yielded more results. But look at this, Greens just playing in Ivy. Playing in Pop Dog, my bad. Look at that. Maxi Nate gonna not do what it was supposed to do, just give away his position is all that it does. In the meantime, it does look like they're trying to hit the inner bomb site. And Havoc finding the first kill onto Kappa with the auto sniper. This is just no respect gameplay. I mean, look, I know the auto sniper is frowned upon as a buy, but look, it's in the game. It's a really expensive investment into a round. So if you're gonna buy it, you bloody well must make sure that you know how to use it. There comes streaming out of upper into the inner bomb site, and it's all down to Kit Kat to hold this off. Gets one head, can he find more? Oh, gets caught. Hands down Shabby, spraying him down with the Tech 9, and that's the inner bomb site defense more or less capitulated right there. But Breaker not giving up. He has something to say. For him, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. And now it's all down to Hellraiser, and he comes bursting out of ramp, and there we go, gets bursted down by Havoc's auto sniper. 14 rounds to 6 is the score after 20 rounds of play, and Risky doesn't look like they're gonna relent anytime soon. Okay then, Greens. Why not bring out the Swag 7? I mean, this is the thing, right? Risky just seemed to be just a cut above, because no matter what the teams here from India try, they just can't seem to get a leg up on Risky Gaming. The only team that came close to beating them was Entity on the first game of the ESL Masters Series, and they took that game to overtime, and Risky played that with a stand-in and still managed to see that game through once Greens joined back in overtime. And that's the thing with Risky. It's just they're such a dominant force on the map. They're just unrelenting. Once they find a pulse, once they find a wound, they just keep rubbing salt into it. And look at this buy coming out from them. It's just nasty. 2 ops, 2 auto snipers, and a shotgun. It's like they're playing a game of matchmaking and their opponents are Gold Nova 1 and their LEMs. And it really hurts me to say this, but they are a cut above. Just look at this gameplay. Like, they've outsmarted, they've outthought and outplayed D2D in almost every round. And that's just reflective in their buys. Hell needs to dig deep into his playbook of awesomeness and pull out a strat that's going to completely flummox the Risky guys and throw them a curveball that they have no answer for. I mean, they have 4 auto snipe, they have 4 scope weapons. If there was a time for a fast play, this would be it. Anyway, Greens with the swag 7, as I like to call it, making his way over to Pop Dog. In the meantime, Carry Bob is gonna peek upper and break her with the op. This is just insult play right now. Get double peeked and does get taken down in the meantime. Carry Bob peeking in and out with the auto sniper. Gets one kill, equalizing the man advantage. Does take some damage on the way down though. That's curious. In the meantime, Kit Kat over by Ivy. What is this? What is this? Oh no, not like this. Not like this. Surely not like this. Gets the knife in on Antidote and takes a chunk of health out of Shabby. Oh god. That is heartbreaking. That is absolutely heartbreaking. In the meantime, Kit Kat with the op over by Ivy. Hellranger needs to be careful as he peeks this corner. There's two players who've made their way over by this point. And there we go. Kit Kat getting the kill onto Hellranger. And Havoc still not looking Ivy, but he's got the other angle covered. And Havoc, oh, getting caught off guard. Kappa does manage to trade him. In the meantime, that nade not going to do anything. And with the Molotov, he buys himself some time there, Havoc. In the meantime, Carry Bob has made his way to Pop Dog. And here's one player coming out of teammate. And there we go. No scope auto sniper to the rescue. And now Kappa is going to walk out into the open crosshairs of Carry Bob and will get shut down. Oh my god, what am I watching right now? Yeah, that was all she wrote, I guess. 15-6. Somehow D2D managed to cobble together by an... Have they given up? Oh, come on, guys. Don't do this. Don't be like that. Or have they timed out? I don't know. Okay, I think they gave up in that final round. They just stood at spawn. Just got mauled over. Oh, or did they just drop from the server? I think they dropped from the server right now. Let me just check. I think this is going to be a round restart. I am not sure. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, I think they're going to get restored. That round is going to get restored. There's no way that D2D gives up and keels over like that. Yeah, I think they did DC. Let me just check with the admins. Yeah, it looks like they DC'd, so we should have a round restore coming in. Because it's highly unlikely for any professional outfit to just give up like that. It is a game of CS. It's not over till the scoreboard reads 16. And 15-6 is not the same as 16-6. I know it sounds glib and all, but yeah. Okay, but the server seems to be down. Alrighty then. Let me just check. Let me just check with the admins. I'll be back.
lines and lines in the haze of your fixation. We all crave for you, we all crave, and you can kill the wildest thing. When you murder, it's a sin. In the midst of your conviction, we all crave for you, we all crave. Just a little time. Know your addiction's not a crime. It's just a smaller part of who you want to become in the end.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
Exclusive black equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes.
Oh no! Punch! Oh, crap!
The best audio setting is the one you're comfortable with, so you can act and react anytime. Intuitive touch panel for treble and bass adjustment. With driverless design, you just plug and play. Personalize the way you see everything, and then conquer. Exclusive black equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes. Adjust the angle effortlessly for maximum comfort.
You paint a picture in my mind. You wanna leave it all behind. In a world that's turning all the time, nothing could stop me longing for your eyes. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't be This lake of fire burns my skin. How could love wear so thin? I'm sinking in the hollow ground. Nothing can stop me wanting you somehow. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for patiently waiting by. We are back with the server restore. The problem was that the game officially got over and the server automatically shuts down once the scoreboard reaches 16 for the team. That's why we had to go back into the logs and restore the server, create a new server, and now we're going to have to import the score and the money from the previous round, from the previous server, and that's going to take a couple of more minutes. Thank you so much for your patience and waiting around for so long. The chat, as always, has been so loving and supportive. I have to thank them. What can I say? You guys make this absolutely worth it. And yep, so Risky Gaming so far, the dominant force by far. And as you already saw, even on 200 ping, they are a force to be reckoned with. In the meantime, I have to give this up to D2D. They're not a team of quitters. They will never say die. That's one thing I really love about Hellranger and his squad here. They have a never say die attitude, and they will fight till the very bitter end. And I think the restore will be coming in a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes, depending on what the scene is. And yeah, there we go. 15-6 is the score. The buy is coming in from the T's. The team names. Ignore the team names. It is Risky on 15 rounds and D2D on 6 right now. I think that's going to be changed up in a couple of minutes. And yeah, and okay, at least this time around they're not going with the complete rubbing salt and insult to injury by. They're just 2 auto snipers and 1 op out on Risky. And there we go, Carry Bob taking that auto sniper onto upper, and he's going to be marking any players daring enough to walk into his crosshairs. In the meantime, I like what Antidote's doing. He's made his way out all the way to Olaf. He's bombarded out into the A-bomb site, taking up an advanced position. But look at this on the flip side. Breaker pushing up Ivy, getting a lot of information for his team. And Kappa, both Greens and Kappa spraying through smoke. And Breaker with the op, his trusty Dragon Lord getting blocked there by Greens. But in the meantime, kills coming in left, right, and center. Down goes Greens. And wow, now it's all down to a 2v3, 1v3 retake situation. Carry Bob, the last player left alive with the auto sniper. He has it all to do, and I think he's gonna get taken apart by Hellranger. Oh, Hell takes a lot of damage. Needs to be careful. Should know that his legs are visible from... Oh, and that Molotov. Hellranger will avoid it. The bomb yet to go down, and Carry Bob on very low HP. He's on 3 points of health right now. And I think he should look to save, but this is not the ideal position to save. He can still he'll still take some damage from the exploding bomb. Would they need to save though? Yeah, the money situation on them isn't all that great either. They've been playing very callously over the past few rounds. Lost a few bodies, more bodies than they ought to have. But finally, D2D replying. Replying back with a round of their own, and there we go. The bomb does take out Carry Bob. Like I said, he needed to be a bit farther away. He should have stayed in heaven, and he would have been well away from the blast radius. And yeah, money on Kit Kat is absolutely gone. Breaker also teetering on the edge of bankruptcy. The only 2 players who can actually buy into this round are Carry Bob and Havoc. And Havoc is just going to drop pistols and swag 7s and what have you to his teammates. It's going to be an armor pistol-ish. It's going to be a half buy. But yeah, Risky have enough rounds in the kitty to, you know, throw a few here and there. But they're a team that's just going to go balls to the wall, no respect. And that's what we've been seeing from them over and over again. Carry Bob just playing on the edge of ramp. Oh, but look at this Kit Kat having pushed up all the way into teammate. Blackhawk needs to be careful, and he does decapitate Kit Kat without a second's hesitation there. Down goes Kit Kat, man advantage to Dare to Dream. And that reset, this DC really having helped out D2D. They seem to have come back with their heads on their shoulders, with a fresh outlook on the game, and look much stronger than what they've been looking like in the rest of the game. Oh, and Havoc now taking a risk, gambling, moving up T mid. Here's one player going by Dumpster. They're trying to line up smokes. In the meantime, we have a push coming up off of upper all the way to ramp. And oh ho ho, Havoc gonna engage himself with Shabby, but Hellranger's going to come to the rescue very soon. Oh, Shabby getting dinged down to 2 HP. Needs to be careful, does get taken down, and finally Havoc goes down to Hellranger. In the meantime, the bomb has made its way out onto the A-bomb site, but Breaker, having recovered an AK-47, shuts down Kappa, and all of a sudden it's down to a 2v2. And it looks doable. This is looking scary, but oh, a Breaker coming out worse for the wear in that spray battle against Antidote. Down to a 1v2, and Carry Bob showing tremendous trigger discipline there. All he needs to do is take on that bomb planter, decapitating him and finding the kill onto... Oh, Carry Bob 1 HP, Antidote 18. Who will win is the question. One bullet, either direction, both go down. They both fall like a sack of aimed potatoes. And the timing just not suiting. And there we go. Down goes Antidote. And I think there's enough time on the bomb. Is there time? Yeah, I think there's enough time on the bomb there for the defuse to come in. That's GG. Well played for Risky Gaming. D2D gave a valiant fight there. But in the end, Risky just too OP for D2D. Risky clinched that game 16-7. Alright guys, that's all from me tonight. Fet. See you all tomorrow again at 8 PM for tomorrow's games of the ESL Masters Series. And as always, it has been an absolute pleasure casting for such a delightful and loving audience. And see you tomorrow. More love to come my way, I'm pretty sure. Bye-bye, guys.
We won't be alone.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ESL India Premiership 2017, brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX, and Zowie by BenQ. This is organized by Nordwind Gaming, and what we just witnessed was Breaker and team literally breaking any single opposition they received from Dead Dream. It seems like they've broken the charm Dead Dream had back in the days of Masters 2016 when they defeated Risky Gaming and put them in the losers bracket, from where Risky Gaming had to claw up their way and win last year. Looks like it's going to be a cakewalk for Risky Gaming from UAE, people. Congratulations, Breaker and gang. Congratulations indeed. Dead Dream, hard luck, boys. I really hope that you buck up your game and better it in the upcoming games to come. Especially that knife for Antidote. I paid close attention to that. That was really amazing and well played. Alright guys, this was a streamed match. We have another match happening as we speak right now between Brutality and Team Semperex. It has gone into overtime with 17-16 the scoreline in favor of Brutality right now. Seems like Venom and Mythilef end up being the top fraggers because they are awesome players. So ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of the day 9 of the ESL India Premiership 2017's live stream. We'll be back again tomorrow at 6:30 PM IST on Facebook, ESL India page, and YouTube gaming channel of ESL India. Don't forget, you can register for the Phase 2 in your game of interest. All you gotta do is follow the registration link on the screen. It'll take you to the page where you need to sign up for the game you want to take part in the Phase 2. Alright people, this brings us to an official end of the day 9. We'll be coming back again tomorrow with the day 10 of the live stream of the ESL India Premiership 2017. Cheers till then.
I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the